Hola, welcome to your practice. I'm going to do a spicy, funky little ditty here. And I've been doing some spicier classes on CCY Studio because I have more time. So it's a lot more time to build up and to open the body and get there. So this is going to be much shorter. So we're going to kind of dive on in. Let's just do it. But I'm recommending that if you like this style, it's a lot smoother. It's a lot more, like if you can tenderize the body a little bit before you get into the big shapes, it's super, super sweet. So maybe check over at CCY Studio if you want to explore in a bigger container, yeah? But we'll play today. Take a moment on the shins, if that feels comfortable, if not cross-legged or in another variation, and just begin to observe the breath. I say just as if it's simple, but it's not. Often we will for a moment or two, and then the mind takes us somewhere and just come back to the breath. That's a beautiful thing about the breath, is that it's always there waiting for when we remember. You can let an inhale fill up your vessel, and an exhale, empty it out. Once more like this. All right, get a little wind underneath your wings and spread them wide. Inhale, touch at the top, and exhale, hands to heart center. Again, like that. Wind underneath the wings, hands above, and exhale, hands to heart center. I will not get that song in my head. One more. Inhale, wings wide, and this time clasp the hands, if you know, you know. Clasp the hands, Kali Mudra, and begin to bring some animacy in the body and actively pull away at the hands until you find a little bit of quiver. You'll find a little bit of quiver in the body. And then you can spiral around a bit. I want to get some space on the side bodies, so spiral, scribble around. And then as if you're being lifted up by a string attached to your fingers, like lift, 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 push into the shins and then slide over to the left. Big side body stretch here. Bring the right shoulder forward a little bit. You can spiral the ribs around the spine, gaze up. And then right hand can come down, reach even more. Find a little pulse. And then come up, the left hand comes down, right leg comes out. So you'll have this kind of side plank variation. But get the whole sole of the right foot on the ground. So you'll bend the knee, find that architecture, reach, reach, reach. And then we're going to bend at the hips. You're going to bend at the hips and slither to the right, and the right toes will come out. Elbow can come to the knee and open up. Keep the pulse in the body, keep a buoyancy in the body, and we'll move in between these two. So you'll bend at the hips and slither over, open. And kind of send the pelvis forward, and then you can come quite low and slither to the other side. Once more to the left. And when you get there, stay and lean, weight into the left hand, lift the right leg up. Bend the knee open, or bend the knee and grab for the foot. And then kick into the hand. Really note this sensation here. And then slowly release the foot. Listen, kick it out in front, tap the toe. Kick it behind, grab the foot. Kick it in front, tap the toe. And then bring knee back to knee. Come back to a seat. Have a scribble, bring the hands up into Kali Mudra. And we'll do the same on the other side. So kind of rinsing out. And then be lifted up, push down through the shins and lift up and slide over to the right side. We'll stay here for a moment. Big side body stretch. Left armpit slides forward just slightly. And then left hand drops down and reach, pulse. Slowly come up, right hand comes down, left leg comes long into the side plank variation. Find the whole sole of the foot. We'll come back to this. So notice that when you bend the knee, that you have more foundation. And then we'll move side to side, so you know where we're going. You're gonna bend the hips back and slither, left toes turn out. The hand can stay down, or you can bring the elbow up to the knee. And then move with your breath in your way with your expression. Sliding and opening, finding this pulse between the two, this expansion and contraction. And the next time you come over to the right, put the weight into the right hand and lift the left leg up. So really this is like a half moon variation. Yeah, you see that? Bend the knee and grab for the foot if you'd like. Send the pelvis forward, kick into the hand at the same intensity that the hand's pulling back at the foot. Both shoulders are spiraling open. And then slowly release. And you can kind of send the booty back here. It helps to send the booty back as you kick the leg forward, tap, and then bring it back. Find the clasp, and then release, and tap. And then bring knee back to the knee. This time take a child's pose, just a full round of breath. Arms reach forward, come into tabletop position, and have a big scribble of the spine. Get the tail involved, get the head involved, elbows, get gooey. And downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. All right. So we're gonna play with this arched side plank. So lift the heels, round the back, and roll into a high rounded plank. Really push, push, push through the hands, round the upper spine. Now listen, both heels are gonna go to the left, the hips will go to the left, and the knees will go to the right. Bend the knees, both soles of the feet on the ground, knees to the left, hips to the right. Left fingertips are light, maybe tinted up here. And then feel the pulse, and then take a seat all the way down. Yeah, cool. Hand behind the head back into the hand, and then we'll just pulse on the inside. Take a little twist and open. Twist and open. All right, rounded high plank. So you're pushing into the feet, rounding forward, rounding high plank, heels are high, and then do the same on the other side. You plant the feet, knees to the right, hips to the left, and find the buoyancy. Find the buoyancy. And come all the way down. And you're really unstacking the arm. This is really important that in a traditional side plank, the arms are more stacked, but not here. Hand behind the head. Take a pulse, a little pulse twist. All right, rounded high plank. All right, now we'll move in a little different way. Do the arched side plank to the right side, heels to the right. Find the buoyancy. Now put the weight into the right foot and lift the left heel. Lift the left heel and then lift it up. You can kind of slide the foot to the knee, to the ankle, just to feel that you have options here. And then gaze towards the top of the mat. And you're gonna reach, reach, reach with the top arm and take a big step to the top of the mat. And maybe you help. You can kind of sway the hips just slightly. And then come on the inside of the leg and we'll walk back to Skandasana. Turn the back heels out, so it's a really slow transition there. Feel in here, hips can be high. Heel can be up too, contrary to popular belief. And then slowly come to the top of the mat. Downward facing dog. Let's do this on the other side. Inhale, lift the heels, wave forward. And then arc side plank to the left. Bend the knees. Unstack the arms and then lift the right heel. Lift the right heel and then drag the toes from the knee to the ankle just to feel that it has its own agency here. And then gaze towards the top of the mat. And really important that you reach with the top arm. And then lift the right leg up. Reach, reach, reach. Take a big step. Kind of sink inside the front leg. Keep the hips low. Come to Skandasana, high or low, your choice. Find a little pulse here, just exploring. And then come back to the top of the mat. This time, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Find that natural arc curve in the back. And then exhale, fold forward. Twice more like this. Inhale, open, shoulders roll back. Maybe the heels lift a little bit just for variation and fold. Once more like that. Slow, steady, lift up, ripple up, and then fold down. All right, bend in the knees. Push through the feet. Push, push, push through the feet. And the arms will go wide. Put the weight into the right leg and we'll lift the left leg up. Find some buoyancy in the standing leg. Yeah, a little softness in the joints. Exhale, airplane. The arms wing back. And it can be quite soft and it's fine if the wobbles are there. Helps the body to find where it is in space when we have a little bit of a wobble, a little bit of a quiver. And then inhale, lift. Left knee up, one leg mountain. Again, exhale, airplane. Soft bend in the standing leg. The hands plant down and take a big step to the back of the mat. The back knee comes down. Push through the front foot, Anjaneyasana, but we're going to halo the hands around the head. Open up into cactus arms, open the heart. And then the hands plant down. Lengthen both legs. So it's like in a pyramid-esque version, yeah? All right, hands plant. Push through the hands and around the upper back. We're gonna move right into that arc side plank. But if you really, really round the upper back, then you can drag the heel back. Maybe the leg stays long, and then you'll just stack it right on top of the left foot. Bend the knees. And then we've already been here. Find foundation with the left foot. And then bring the right leg up. Maybe it gets a little air time as you begin to reach towards the top of the mat. And then the heart spirals, the gaze and the hands reach, take a big step up. Keep the hips low and slide to the back of the mat. Yes. Find a pulse. Now listen, we're gonna push through the back foot and lift up into warrior two. And there we are. Now we're gonna come back down. So push through the front foot, kind of pivot the feet, come back down. Maybe the hands come down, maybe they don't. And again, inhale, push up, warrior two. Steady breath. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, wave it down, coming into airplane so hand can come to a block or to the floor. It's a little bit diagonal of the standing leg. A little bit diagonal of the standing leg. Half moon, half moon. Push evenly through both feet. And then you can send the hips back just slightly and see what it's like to bring the left leg forward. Maybe tap the toes, maybe you grab the toes. And then just let it slowly come down. Left foot meets the right forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold it down. Soft bend in the knees. And we slowly roll up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time put the weight into the left foot. Right leg lifts, one leg mountain. Find the softness in the knee and then airplane. You can invite the quiver in, let it be there. Inhale, one leg mountain. This slow thread of movement. Exhale, airplane. We'll stay here for a moment. as if there were like strings attached to the inner triceps lifting you up, up, up. And then let the hands plant down. Take a big step to the back of the mat and knee drips down. Push through the front foot. Halo around the head, cactus the arms. And the hands plant down, lengthen both legs, pyramid-esque pose. And I'll show you here with blocks. This is really nice to practice with blocks here, especially as we do the pulling the leg back. So you can push through the blocks, round the upper back, and then flex the front foot. And you might have more space to drag the left leg back, and then stack it on top of the right. Push through the right hand, and then here we are again in an arched side plank. Right foot is the foundation, left heel gets light, and then maybe you take a tree pose or something. Isk, esk, ish. And then gaze goes towards the top. You reach toward the top. It's very important. And then a big step forward. Hips swivel, stay low. Skandasana, back of the mat. Take a moment, and then we'll push down and lift up into Warrior Two when you're ready. Push down. It's a big transition. Warrior Two. Full round of breath. And then back to Skandasana. Lengthen through the front foot. Sink low. And then again, notice how much the heel is part of this. The heel is this anchor point. You're going to push the right foot, but the heel kind of drags you forward. Warrior Two. All right, reverse warrior. And half moon. Maybe the hand comes to a block. Find engagement through both heels, through both legs, lifting the kneecaps. And then we'll move into this little side pose in just a moment. So it's kind of nice to like stick the booty out a little bit and curl in, engage the core and curl in, toes, hand, meet maybe. But the foot slides down by the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And forward fold. Once more like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold it down. All right. Bend the knees. Push through the feet, roll up. We're going to end up in one leg mountain, standing on the right leg. A little bit different this time. Exhale, airplane. Exhale, airplane. And we'll step back into crescent lunge this time. Bend the standing leg, reach the arms forward as the left leg reaches back. Really long. And then push through the front foot and the hands can crescent around the head. And crescent around the head and let the front leg lengthen. And then pour forward, leading with the heart. You'll hinge at the hips, very slowly come down. The hands can come to blocks or the mat. Inhale, ripple up the spine. And then push into the hands around the upper back, and we're going to drag the left or the right leg back and up and just place it right over the left foot. Bend the knees, come into this arched side plank. Find a foundation with the left foot, and then maybe a floating tree. It's really nice to place hand to knee, press the knee back into the hand to give you a little point of contact there. And then gaze forward, spiral, big step, big step. And this time the right hand's gonna plant. Instead of going back to Skandasana, just plant the right hand and open right up into half moon. Yeah. Couple rounds of breath here. Letting the quiver support your proprioception. And then bend the leg, grab for the foot. And when you have the foot, kick into the hand and send the pelvis forward, open. Steady breath. And then release. The leg's gonna go long and out in front. The hips move back just slightly. Maybe this time you grab for the toes. Peace fingers around the toe.
And then left foot slowly comes down to meet the right. Forward fold. Kind of pull yourself down, forward fold. Right hand comes to the hip. Bend the knees, press into the right foot firmly, lift the left heel and gaze forward as you bend the knee. And we're going to come up to stand. So press down. You can come up kind of like into a one-leg mountain with the toe or extend the leg long. Steady breath. If the leg is long, then roll the shoulder back and towards you, just engaging the shape even more. And then slowly release the toes. The leg's going to come down and back, and you're going to grab for the inside of the foot. Right hand to the heart, bend the knee, the right knee, and then push and lift into dancer. So again, it's that kicking and lifting in the hand. One more inhale. Bend the standing leg, slowly release, step back into crescent. And one more time, get low so you can open up into that halo around the head. Warrior two. Warrior two. Steady breath. Reverse warrior. And exhale. Come forward, extended side angle. Find a bit of spaciousness here rather than just dropping. Find space between the ear, space between both ribs and hips. One more big inhale. And exhale, left hand plants. This time, right leg comes all the way back and up for a wild thing. Any variation, it doesn't need to be really big. Maybe you bend the knee, push through the left foot, and then send the hips up and back to get a little bit more of an opening here. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. And sigh out. Lift the heels, let's wave it forward. Soft bend in the knees, wave it back. And step to the top of the mat, slowly. So even though these are big poses, big transitions, can we find that smooth, steady center amidst it all? Inhale, halfway lift. And fold it down. There's space for both. Bend the knees, push through the feet. One leg mountain. Right leg up. Exhale, airplane. Soft bend in the standing leg. Reach the arms forward as the right toes reach back. Let the torso go low and then push and lift up. Halo around the head. Lengthen the front leg. A little bit like tightrope walker here, like you have one of those balance sticks. And the heart leads you down as you bend at the hips. Be sure you have a soft bend in the front knee. And come all the way down. Feels good. Ripple the spine up. Push through the hands. Lift the front toes and then slowly drag the leg back and place it on top of the right as the heels swivel. Bend the knees, arch side plank. Find your foundation of your right foot and then open up. Tree pose, maybe floating tree, any variation. Maybe you have the foot. And then gaze towards the top of the mat. Big step up. This time into half moon. So there's a whole pivot of the body. Half moon. Option to take Chapasana, where you'll bend the knee or candy cane, grab for the foot. And if this feels more stable, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It often does for me because there's an extra point of contact there. There's an extra data points for my body, knowing where it is. And then slowly release, lengthen the leg, kind of bend the hips back, grab for the toe. And then slowly bring it down, forward fold with you have a hold of the toe. Get a little traction. Left hand to the hip. And then bend the hips back, bend the knees. Push down through the left foot. Heart goes long, and then push and lift. 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬. External rotation with the right arm. There's a little spiral happening. Slowly release the foot. Comes all the way back. Grab the inside of the foot, and then kick and lift, dancer pose. Find the points of contact. Let the breath be fluid. And it's a slow, maybe graceful, maybe ungraceful step back into a halo arm crescent. Open up warrior two. All right. Reverse warrior. And extended side angle, your variation. Still recruiting the back foot, even though you're leaning forward. One more big inhale. And exhale, right hand comes down. Maybe left hand comes down too. So you can bring the leg up and around into wild thing, any variation. And maybe you take a moment to bend the knees, change the hips, and then open from there. And we come back around, downward facing dog. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Slow step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And lift the heels here. Bend the knees, bring them low. Hands to heart center. One more little balance here. Squeeze the legs together. Firmly press palm into palm. The arms reach forward as the hips reach back. And maybe for a moment you're kind of in between these two. Then eventually the hips went out. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Knees wide, arms lift one more time, Kali Mudra. And then forward fold. 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. Maybe a little shake of the body. Letting go whatever happened, whatever didn't happen. I'm just trying to stay open to it all, available to it all. The bits that are shaky and the bits that are sturdy. Slowly rolling up. Let's just come down onto the back, roll down onto the back, take a happy baby. And bring the feet down, windshield wiper the legs. And extend the legs long for just a little mini Shavasana here. Maybe the arms stay high, the legs stay long. Just a little mini rest here. Feeling the points of contact, really noticing gravity. So we've just been up and on one leg and balancing and exploring the air. And then how does it feel to fully give yourself over to gravity? So many places to explore, so many places to sense and feel. Right now, feel the breath moving through the body as the pace of the heart dials down and
The pace of the breath settles in. Notice the calibration. Maybe seeing what it feels like to bring hands to the body, maybe hand to the sternum, hand to the belly or to the chest. And maybe they're still, maybe there's a little bit of movement, just feeling the skin, feeling sensation. Feeling breath maybe expand in the ribs and the belly. And just thanking the body for doing what it does, for showing up and allowing play, allowing movement, exploration. And a big reminder to stay curious about the body that is continually evolving along with you. We're always showing up in a different body. We're subject to the change that all life is. So maybe we stay curious as we continually meet, continually become and unbecome, and stay open to all variations and versions. Take a deep inhale. Audible exhale. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you want, and I'll leave you here. Leave you here. So enjoy. Feel the afterglow. And if you enjoyed this style of class, yeah, know that I have longer variations that feel more complete. We get to, really bookend and nourish both the spicy and the sweetness, and all along the way there and back down on CCY Studio if you're interested. And I'll see you next time on your mat. If you're enjoying these classes, then I want to invite you to my membership service, CCY Studio. This is where we get to explore with longer classes, full-length classes, and we get to investigate not only more into the physical body and longer shavasanas, but also yogic and Buddhist philosophy, and more time to marinate and percolate with all of it. Also just putting up a new asana library, and this has about 10 of the core poses and really intricate ways and investigations to put it not only in your body, but also some teaching tips. So if you're a teacher, this is really valuable as well. So if you're interested, you get a 14-day free trial. You can cancel at any time, and I just encourage you to check it out. I think that it's a beautiful place to go a little bit deeper. So I hope to see you over there. You can find more details in the links below.